Hi everyone, my name is Corinne and you have found my channel CoryCreates. This is a channel where I share my creative projects including cross stitch, sewing, garment sewing, a little bit of bag sewing, all of those things. So if any of those pique your interest, I would love for you to come back and visit me again. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I have quite a few this time, so welcome. So glad that you found me, and hi to all of you who are back. Today is Saturday, September 30th, and this is Flosstube number 19. So today I'm going to come to you with a little bit of my cross stitch. I hope everybody is out there doing well. I have a little bit to share with you, not as much as I hoped, but I do have a little bit to share with you today. I do have some whips that I'm going to talk about. I'm also going to just recap Galleria, Needlework Galleria, which took place here in the St. Louis area about a week ago. I'm just going to recap that. I did go 2 days, and I have a little bit of investment that I want to share from that and a little bit of my experience. And then I do have a little bit of stitchy kindness and some shout outs at the end. So I'm so glad that you are here. Here in St. Louis, it is hot. Yep. Normally by now we'd be pretty fallish, but no, today it's 90. Hence why I have short sleeves on. Yep, it's 90. It's been 90 since I think it was yesterday. It was 90, and then all week it's been in the 80s, high 70s, mid 80s most of the week. And this is going to last, I think, for another maybe 4 or 5 days, and then it'll drop off. So that'll give me time to debug all of my houseplants that are out on the deck, get them debugged, and then figure out where I'm going to put them when I bring them back in. So that's kind of what's going on here, where the school year is well underway. I think 6 weeks now. For those of you that are new here, I am a family consumer science teacher here in the St. Louis area, and I teach all culinary classes this school year, which I'm excited about. But you all, the days are flying. I literally am on my feet second hour till the end of the day. I have a baking class, and all the rest of my classes are foods classes, and so I'm doing a lot of shopping for those classes. Yeah, it's busy. Then on top of that, the kids' activities. My son is in middle school and my daughter is a senior, so she is deep in the senior year. Homecoming is coming. We have our homecoming pretty late. Ours is like the first weekend in November, but she already knows she's on homecoming court. She's halfway through her senior volleyball season, just trying to get her scholarship applications. We went to a HBCU job fair last weekend, so between work and running around with the kids, it's been busy. I told you last time that was my word, busy. Hasn't changed. Plus I've got a few things that I've been doing, some catering and some other things, so it's busy. And Layla, of course, wants me to make her homecoming dress again, so hopefully next video I will have something to show you. So let's get into what I have for you today. Let's start with my whips. I have about 5, I think, and I made a moderate progress on all of them, but I am pleased. The first one, I showed it to you last month, is The Bookstore by Little House Needleworks. This is the Hometown Holiday Series, and this is the second one I'm working on. They're all being done on the same piece of fabric, but this is where I am on Bookstore. I finished filling in the sign, the area that's going to have the sign that says Bookstore. I've kind of done the border of the actual building, and I finished the other window down here at the bottom, and now I'm just ready to outline the windows at the top, do the roof, and then finish all of the trees. So this was coming along nicely. My son plays tennis, and he has had tennis matches the last 2 weekends. So that is what I worked on while I was in his matches. So that was good progress, which I'm very pleased with. So again, that is the bookstore, Hometown Holiday by Little House Needleworks. Up next, I have my Prairie Schooler, and this is Prairie Schooler Santa 2004. And I told you all I was doing a color conversion on his skin tone. And somebody in the comments asked if I would put up a picture of my dad as a Santa. I asked him to send me some pictures, so I will put those at the end. And then I also have a few pictures of me and my sisters on taking Santa Claus pictures. You all, that was the one thing my dad asked us to give him every year for Christmas, was to take a Santa Claus picture. So that's what we did until I was in my 20s. I know I was in college on the last one. And I think one of the pictures that I have to show, we are pretty old. And we actually went to the mall and took the Santa Claus picture. But I have a picture of him with the three of us, and I know I'm in college in this picture, and I cannot find it. So when I find it, I promise I will show it. But in the meantime, towards the end of the video, I will I will put in those Santa Claus pictures that I have. But this is 2004, and I'll insert a picture of where I was last time. And here's where I am now. And I'm almost there, you all. Santa kind of getting on my nerves, okay? I finished up the sign. I finished up the red on his coat. I had to frog his entire face and hat. I don't know where I got off on. I'll insert a picture of how much I had to frog, but I was so irritated. But I got back on track, and a lot of times that's what I do, you all. If I realize something's not right, I'll just frog it. I cannot stand to be one stitch off. It bugs me. I've always been that way. My mom, when I would have these pictures that had hair, that had variegation in it and different, lots of ninja stitches in there, my mom would always say, why don't you just put something else in there? Nobody's gonna know. But I know, okay? I've kind of gotten out of that, especially with Heaven and Earth Designs, my HAEDs that I've done. I've learned to just, if one stitch is wrong, just let it go. But it's hard on something like this because it kind of throws everything off. So I could not do this with this. It just wasn't working out. So I frogged his face and his hat, and I think part of his beard, and then I redid it, and it seems like it's right now. So now all I have left is the little edging on his coat, his shoes, and the rest of the sign, and the needle in his hand, and that's it. So I am looking forward to him being done. I've kind of been doing him also when I go to tennis, and then I've also been working on him. He's been my work stitch. So that's what I've been doing with that. I did a color change on the reds and the greens. The red is Valor Red, and the green is Smoky Mountain by Color and Cotton. And the color that I did for his face is DMC 433. And I do still have to do his cheek colors, so I'll finish that this week as well. So next time, this will definitely be a finish. I was hoping it'd be done in September, but it wasn't meant to be. So, but I did make some progress, which I'm very pleased with. Okay. All right, up next is probably the one that got the majority of my time, and that is Hive Rules. I will insert a picture of where I was the last time, and this is where I am now. And as you all know, I did a color conversion. Let me show you those threads first. Sorry about the zipper. I did a color conversion. Sorry, I had it in a bag so it wouldn't get all ratty. But this is my color conversion. The main thing I changed everything to overdyes. And then I changed the greens to more of aqua. So that was the main changes I did. And again, if anybody's interested in that, I'd be happy to share. And I think if you go back to my last video, I did go through each one, what I did. But here is where I am now. And this is being done on 32 count Lugana in the color lightly salted, not roasted. And if that's not right, I'll put it at the bottom. But it's a Be Stitch Me. It's one of my Be Stitch Me fabrics of the month. And I'm glad I will have some of this left because I love it and I want to use it again. Let me tell you the stats on this. Since my last time I showed it, I've put in 619 stitches and I'm at 2,645 stitches out of 6,064, which is 46.67%. And I just added this fabric on the side to make it easier to get in and out of my nerge. But I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, very pleased with it. So that is Hive Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I'm going to keep plugging away on that one. So up next is Annie's Market. I got this one out because it's September, it's fall. I wanted it to, something to work on fallish for September. And this is what I have. This is the actual chart. It is from a Just Cross Stitch magazine in 2004, October 2004, I believe. But this is Annie's Market. And again, I started it in October of 2022. So it's only been a year that I've been working on it, but it's been kind of sporadic. But I am pretty pleased with my progress. I'm going to insert a picture of where I was. And here's where I am now. So it is working out really well. I'm working on this awning going across. It's kind of a bear, but I'm making progress with the awning. And then I came down here and I've done all of this. I am almost, this is a page. So I am working on my second page over here. Let me see if I can show you. Those pumpkins all the way over are these pumpkins right here. So I just got a little bit more to go over here. So, and then I think once I finish over here, I'm gonna jump back over here where the tree is and fill that in and then just go from there. And I should have a pretty good size piece of this left over as well. So I can't wait to find something to use the rest of it on. But yeah, every time I get it out, my husband always says, I really like that fabric. And it's got nice modeling on it. I believe I got this at Needlework Galleria last year from the Inspired Needle, I believe. Okay, so I love that fabric. And that is Annie's Market from Just Cross Stitch. My last whip is, of course, Vintage Baker. I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Heaven and Earth Designs. Amy Stewart is the artist. And this is my second Heaven and Earth design. I started her in May 2022. It was my Mother's Day start. So very excited about her. My goal is to finish the top row before the end of the year. I am probably right about there. So it's going to be a push to get that in. And I did not do a good job in September continuing with the push. Let me insert a picture of where I was and tell you the stats. I have only done 675 stitches so far this month. Just terrible. So I'm sitting at 44,246 stitches out of 301,600, and that is 14.65%. So needless to say, this is what I'm working on tonight, since this is the last day of the month and I do not want to be just at 675. So I'm going to push a little bit tonight while I'm watching the end of the Cardinals dismal season. I'm going to watch that and work on this tonight. But here is where I am. You all, it's almost too big for the board now. So I'm going to stay back here so you can see. But I mostly worked on this big patch of red right there. And it's coming along. I still enjoy it, but other things have been taking me away, and I finally got some time to work on project bags. So that's kind of been taking up a little bit of my time on the weekends. but it's coming along. It's going great. I still love it. I'm still fully invested. I just need to get back on the saddle and continue working on it. I mean, I think I did almost more stitches on Hive Rules than I did on this. So what's happening, you all, is I'm kind of tired in the evenings, and sometimes I only get maybe 30 minutes to stitch. So rather than get this out, especially if it's not already on my lap stand, I'll tend to just go with what's close by or already in my lap stand. And lately, Annie's Market and Hive Rules. I think Annie's Market was on my stand all of last week, and then Hive Rules has been on it the last couple of nights. So I gotta get this going again. I really want a Lowry stand, that way this can stay on that, but I gotta do the research and figure out what I want. But this is Vintage Baker. I still like it. It's being done on 25 count Lugana 1/1, and that's something I'm going to incorporate in my plans in the coming months and into 2024. I want to do more with 25 count Lugana 1/1, but I also want to do some 28 count 1/1. I saw some samples at Needlework Galleria that were done in 28 count. I've got a ton of 28 count. So I'd really like to use it because I do prefer 32 2/2, but I want to use my 28 count. But sometimes 14, you know, if you do the math, it works out to be 14 count. That's just too big for some things. But I think if I do 1/1 on 28, that might work. So I'm going to see what projects I have that will fit with that count. Before I get into my Needlework Galleria investments, I want to show you the investments I got that were not from Needlework Galleria. The first one is my September fabric of the month from Atomic Ranch Fabrics, which came from Stitch New England's Fabric of the Month Club. This is Embellish. It is a 28 count Lugana, nice neutral. I think I mentioned this before. I am probably going to only be in this one till the end of the year. These Atomic Ranch fabrics don't have a lot of modeling, and I really want modeling in the fabrics and the hand-dyed fabrics that I have or I'm obtaining. So that's why, plus I don't do a lot, like I said before, on 28 count. So I'm probably gonna let this one go. I am in Under the Sea Fabrics, but I do know she is having some health challenges, and best wishes to Leslie. But I'm excited to be in that club, but I think she, because of her health challenges and her recovery time, she's gonna need to postpone some of her fabrics of the month in the coming months. So that works out because I'm gonna continue with this one until the end of the year. And then I'm also in the Be Stitch Me, and I have not received my Be Stitch Me for September yet. I did check the mail before I started, but I have not gotten that one yet. But I'm gonna definitely stick with Be Stitch Me and Under the Sea moving forward in 2024. I thought these were really cute. These came from the Dollar Tree. And if you like stitching bee themed items, I thought these would be good to mount something on. I think this is supposed to be a little whiteboard, but you can always cover it up. And then this one, this hexie, is just a piece of wood. So Dollar Tree. I thought those were cute and I grabbed them. Don't know how long, you know, sometimes things cycle in and out in Dollar Tree. So you may want to grab those if you see them now. The last thing I purchased was an Etsy chart purchase. And this is the Phoenix Sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. I love that. Sorry about that glare. But this is such an elaborate house. Y'all know how I feel about a house. Love that house. And then these birds, and then this urn of roses is just beautiful. So I've already kind of decided what size fabric I need to get, and I've highlighted the over-dyed flosses that I already own. So I'm hoping I'll start that next year after I clear off some things on my whip list. I only think I have about 20 whips, 21, something like that. It's not that much. I mean, some people, you all watch it, all of us Flosstubers, some people got a whip list. Okay, I don't. I like getting things done. I hear people talk about all the time, they are a process stitcher, not a progress stitcher. I'm the opposite. I am a progress stitcher and not a process stitcher. I do stitch for my well-being, relaxation, because I love it, but I like to see things happen. So this is going on the list for 2024. And this again is Twin Peak Primitives, Phoenix Sampler, and I got it on Etsy, so it was a PDF download. And I'm really getting to the point where I prefer PDF downloads if I can get them. Okay. All right. I think that was it for my investments that weren't from Galleria. But if you're not familiar with Needlework Galleria, it is, some people call it a retreat. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's a shop. Opportunity to do like almost like a shop hop within one location. The 4th floor of the Embassy Suites in St. Charles, which is a suburb or metropolitan area of St. Louis, where I live, has Needlework Galleria every year. It is usually a weekend in September, and I believe it's going to be a weekend in September next year as well. But they take, you know, you all know the layout of Embassy Suites. You have the living room in the front and then the bedroom in the back. Well, the living room of the suites is where the shops are. So each individual place has shops. It is run by the Inspired Needle. They used to be out of Chicago, and now they have a new shop down in Florida, but they are still doing Needlework Galleria up here in St. Louis. And it's pretty popular because up until May, we have not had a needlework shop here in St. Louis in a long time. So it was nice to be able to shop at places like the Silver Needle out of Tulsa, the Inspired Needle. The other people that were there, Stacy Nass Designs was there. Jan Hicks Creates, another Flosstuber, she was there with her designs. Rosewood Manor, Karen from Rosewood Manor was there, and her husband is who. And just so many different places. So I thought I would share with you my charts first that I purchased, and then I would share my fabric haul. They also have stitching rooms at the Embassy Suites. Last year I kind of popped into one because I knew some people that were going to be in there. The Sunshine Stitchers came last year, so I just kind of sat in there at their table in one of the stitchy areas, but I did not do that this year. I know the St. Louis Stitchers, which has a Facebook group here in St. Louis, I know they had a room, and some other people, other groups from around, but I met a lot of people. I met a lady from North Carolina, Illinois, Arkansas. Some people drove up from Arkansas and Louisiana. So quite a few people, KC people, Kansas City people come in for this all the time. So it was a fun experience. I had my Bougie Bee bag with me at the time, and a couple of ladies, I was just sitting in the cafeteria area, where the restaurant area is in the main atrium of the hotel. I was sitting down there, you know, getting my haul together, you know, counting my receipts before I headed home. And they saw my bag and they came up to me and they were like, "Oh, I like your bag." I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then they said, "Do you know of any other, are there any shops in the area?" And I told them about Color and Cotton. I showed them a picture from when I went at the grand opening that I had taken of their wall of floss. And I showed them that, and they were like, one of the ladies turned to her friend, she said, "We're going now." And she's like, "Well, we haven't even gone in here yet." I guess they were just getting there at Galleria. And she was like, "We got all day tomorrow. Let's go." and they went. We looked at Google Maps, you know, to make sure they knew how to get there, because like I told you guys, Coloring Cotton is literally 5 minutes from my apartment. And so I made sure they understood where to go. One lady seemed like she was pretty familiar with St. Louis, so when I said certain streets, she was like, yeah, I know where that is. So I said, and she said, let's go. And she was like, well, I guess we're going, bye, you know. It was hilarious. So I thought about those ladies all night, and I said, I wonder if they made it. The next day, when I went back to Galleria, I just popped in. Like I said, I had to take Layla to a college fair, and after I dropped her off at work, I said, you know what, I bought a 2-day ticket, I'm using it. So I just went out there again and made a round through the shops again, and as soon as I got there, I had to go to the restroom. As soon as I walked in the restroom, one of the ladies that went to Coloring Cotton, she walked in the restroom and she pointed at me, and I said, did you make it? She said, we did. She said, and it was worth it. So I was glad that they were able to go and see the shop right down the street. I have been keeping all of this in one of my bags, and this is one of my African print project bags. I think I've had one of these in my Etsy shop, but I could not part with this one. Look at that pattern matching, y'all. Look at that. I couldn't let it go, so this one's mine. I'll show you the back. And I just love the pink and the orange in this one. So I've been holding all of my purchases in this bag, and it's getting kind of fat. So I said, let me go and make this video so I can show you all what I got. Now, I don't remember some of the shops I bought these at. The two were that I probably don't know for sure are Inspired Needle and the Silver Needle. They were very close to each other, and the word needle keeps me confused, so I don't remember exactly what I got in those shops. But let me go through the items that I got from the individual places. This came from Stacey Nash Designs. I walked in, it was right there at the door. I knew this was what I wanted. Spring Chickens Pin Keep. Very cute. This is one of the designs I was looking at, and I said, I bet I could do this over one on 28 count. Hopefully y'all can see that. I think this is one of the ones I'm going to try to do over one on 28 count. So that is Stacey Nash. Stacey Nash. The next one came from Silver Creek Samplers. I walked right in, I knew what I wanted, and they had it, and I was excited, and they had a lot of patterns. I didn't realize how many patterns they had, but this is the one I really wanted. This is Seeds of Freedom. And Sheila of the Sunshine Stitchers finished it over the summer. And I want to say she FFO'd it over the summer. And I had been following her progress on it, and I really liked it. So I went ahead and got this one. And that was the main one I wanted. I forgot to get Unto Us a Child is Born. That was the other one I wanted to get. And I saw it, but I was so intent upon trying to find this one that I forgot to get that one. So I'll get that one another time. But again, Silver Creek Samplers Seeds of Freedom. The next one also I was on a mission. I went to Rosewood Manor, and I ended up with 2 charts from there, and she had a freebie, and I'm missing my freebie at the moment. So if I come back across it, I'll grab it and show you. But this is 1 Dozen Quakers. And I am participating in the Bake Me a Quaker Sal, which is being put on by EJ of the Sunshine Stitchers. It starts on December 1st, and I'll put the hashtag at the bottom. But if you go over to EJ's Instagram, she has this picture divided into 12 quadrants to participate in the Sal, the Stitch Along. So I'm going to do that. I am not going to use these colors. They don't do anything for me. So I have to decide on a color scheme, and I am bound and determined to use something I already have in my stash for fabric. That Embellish looks attractive, but I think I might want to go a little bit lighter. So that is 1 Dozen Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I went in specifically for this one. I also got the Texas State Map. Texas will be the next state that I live in. So I wanted to grab that. I wasn't planning on it, but when I saw it, I said, oh, I need that. I have a couple of Missouri maps already by Sue Hillis Design, I believe. So I will find somewhere to put them next to each other when we get our new house. So that was my purchase from Rosewood Manor. The next one came from Jan Hicks Creates, and I should have gotten her to sign it. I don't know why I didn't. But this is Palace of the Winds, a study of variegated threads. And I'm looking forward to trying this one. I saw it in her booth, in her room, in her suite, and it just spoke to me. And I really liked it. So I even like the color scheme that it's already done in. So I may keep that. But I'm going to look at this, and like it literally is a study in variegated threads. She talked about she has a Flosstube devoted to how to go about getting the most bang out of your variegated threads. I have not watched it yet, but I plan to. But this is a future start. I don't even know if I'm going to get to it next year, but it's beautiful. I'm going to show it a little closer, but it's really pretty, and I like it. It's a sampler, but it doesn't have any letters on it, which I like. So again, Jan Hicks Creates Palace of the Winds, a study of variegated threads. So those were all the things that I got from individual places. So the next items I'm going to show you came from either the Silver Needle or the Inspired Needle. I don't remember which one. And this one, I got this one. This one was on my list as well. I want to say Elizabeth Ankin Stitch showed this recently. But I have a piece of blush pink that I think it will look nice on. Either that or I might just go with white. I'm not sure. But I really like this. This is charted in DMC, so that will not be a problem. I've got a couple other Sue Hillis designs I want to start on. The 1 Dozen Quakers is overdyed, so that's why I said I'm going to pick my own for that. This was also on my list. Harvest Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. Look forward to doing all of the tiny towns. I have 3 that I plan to do. Actually, and I want to do 4. I have Christmas, Harvest, and Honey of a Tiny Town, and I'm going to do a floss conversion on Honey. But that was Harvest Town, and actually this came from the Inspired Needle because it has a tag on it. This next one is by JBW Designs, and in the past JBW has been at Needlework Galleria, but she was not this year, but they had a big display of her stuff at the Inspired Needle. And there was a lady in line with me, and she was saying, oh, well, I'm just going to go over to JBW's booth and get some stuff. And I said, I don't recall seeing her in the little pamphlet. And she's like, she's not. And so we stood there, and I stood there, and I thumbed through it again, and we didn't see it. And she was like, I am so glad you told me. So she went ahead and got some patterns that she wanted to get. But this is Stitching in the Round. I know you have seen quite a few people doing this one. And she's got quite a few different ones in this series. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm probably going to do something similar as far as color. Definitely going to be some pinks or roses that I'm going to do as far as colors are concerned. I believe this is Cherry Tomato is the main color in this. So that is Stitching in the Round. This came from, I do remember where I got this. This came from Needleworker's Delight. He had a few of these, and I still needed this one. So this is the Diner from Little House Needleworks, which is part of Hometown Holiday. So I'm going to add that one to my list that I'm going to work on. This next one, actually these next few come from the Silver Needle. Thank goodness they have tags on them. Yes, almost all the rest of these come from the Silver Needle. So this is Strawberry Fair. I did a Honey Fair in the summer, and I always knew I wanted to do Strawberry Fair because I looked forward to that bird. So this is Strawberry Fair. That I will save this as a start next spring. And I'm going to do it on the same fabric that I did Honey Fair on. I have more of that. I believe it was the Ivory 32 count Lugana. And I have 2 of these, which I'm super excited. I finally got my hands on. The Blue Flower Quilting Bee. My bee theme is strong, still going. Quilting Bee and Tutor Bee. They had the Sleeping Bee and one other one, I think, but these were the 2 that I was most interested in. And I actually got this one the first day, and then when I went back the second day, this one was out, so they might have just not had it restocked it, but I found them both. So super excited about those bee charts. And then this is another pair I got from the Silver Needle, and these are Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. This is the Houses on Peppermint Lane series. This is Tea House, and I love that pink house. And this is Sugar Cookie House, another pink house. So I think I'm going to do these on pillows. I'm thinking about doing these on 28 count over 1. I haven't decided yet, but love both of those. And the last charts I got, oh, here's the freebie, Happy Autumn by Rosewood Manor. This was at the checkout when you checked out. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then I believe it was the Inspired Needle. They had some old Just Cross Stitch magazines, and they were giving them out free with the purchase as you were checking out. And this one is from June 2015. That pillow is beautiful. It's done on, I believe, an Aida, either an Aida or a Lugana. So I liked that. And then I also liked this one, and this one I probably will do this one, the Butterfly Box. Very, very pretty. And I think there might have been one more in here I marked. Let's see. Yes. Basil and sage in a cup. So super cute. Totally worth it to grab that free magazine. All right, up next are my fabric purchases. I got a lot of fabric, y'all. I'm just gonna show them real fast. Some of them I'm not even gonna take them out of the packaging. But the first one I got, and if I have a plan for the fabric, I will show you what that is. So this one's up first. This is Picture This Plus. I believe I got this from the Silver Needle. I can't remember. But this is Picture This Plus Dawn. It is a linen. I bit the bullet and got some linen, y'all. I don't know. I'm probably going to regret this because it's a dark color linen. But it's Picture This Plus 32 count Dawn. I don't know what I was thinking. But I think Lugana, because it's not 100% cotton, it does not dye dark well. So it's hard to find it dyed dark. And when you do, people usually snatch it up. So I got that for these cottage garden designs that I've had for, you know, this one I've had for almost a year, and this one I've had for a little while too. I'm ready to start them, especially I want to do them this fall. This is the fox and the reindeer. So they will go on this. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully my eyes cooperate, because y'all know how I feel about linen. So that is one fabric purchase. These next 3 are from a new place that was not familiar with, but it's called Live and Dye, D-Y-E, L-A. And she is from LA, and beautiful fabrics. So all of these are 32 count Luganas, and I got a fat quarter of 2 and a half yard of 1. This is the Child. And if you are a Star Wars fan, you know what that refers to in The Mandalorian, little baby Yoda. So this is the Child. It is green. It is not reading very green. Let's try that. That makes it a little bit better. it looks more blue-green, I think, on the screen, but it is a very light green. And I like it because it's got modeling in it. I told you all, if I'm getting a hand-dyed, I want modeling. This is, it's not reading how it looks to me. This looks like a little more of a hunter green, and it really is truly more of a sea green, olive green, something like that. But I really like this, and my plan for this is Owl Forest Embroideries Wizard of Oz stitch along. I've had this for a while, and I'm ready to start it, and I finally got some fabric, so that's what I plan to do with that. As you all can see, I was very strategic. I was trying to just make sure I got what I needed or really wanted to have. The next one I got from Live and Die LA, and I'm going to show you her card. But she has a Facebook page, so go there. She has a website that you can buy the fabrics directly. And this is 28 count Lugana in Bayou. I think she was out of 32, so I went ahead and got the 28. But look at that. It's kind of definitely a rusty tan color, but look at those big swatches of white in there. I like that. So that's Bayou, B-A-Y-E-A-U-X. I'm assuming that's how you say it. And the last one I got from there, I went back the second day, and when I walked in, she was like, "Hi, welcome back." Because I had my eye on this the first time, but they did not have a fat quarter of it. And then I just said, you know what, I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to get the half yard. This is Cafe Olay by Live and Die LA. Look at that. That's reading pretty good. Might be a little warmer, a little more toasty looking on my end. But I really liked her fabrics. I am looking forward to stitching on them, seeing how they stitch. I'm not totally positive. This is the 32 count Lugana. I'm not totally positive what I'm going to make with this, but with it being a neutral, I got lots of choices. Okay, so I'm looking forward to finding something to do on this fabric. So that was it for Live and Die LA. I would highly recommend you check them out. The lady at the Inspired Needles, she asked me how I liked their fabrics when she saw I had one of their bags. She said because she was not really that familiar with her before she, I guess, applied to be in the show. So go out there, you all, if you're looking for some different hand-dyed fabrics, go out there and check her out and support her. These next fabrics all came from Needleworkers Delight. And I believe Jim is the gentleman that runs it, and he is starting a Fabric of the Month club, and it's called Hand Dyes, D-Y-E-S, by Jim. So if you're interested in that, go check out Needleworkers Delight's website. But I'm just going to show these real fast because I got a big stack. A lot of these were smaller, like scrap pieces that they had in like a bin that you can kind of thumb through. So that's mostly what I got. But this first piece is a 32 count charcoal gray Lugana. I wanted something that wasn't black. Not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. This is a 28 count Lugana in beige, just a scrap. And this is one of Jim's dyes. So I wanted to give that a try. 18 count Ada, looks like ivory. Parchment, just a 9x11 piece. This is an 8x8 piece of stone gray, 18 count Ada. Might put one of those Prairie Schoolers on there. 18 count Ada in summer khaki. 14x18 piece of 18 count Ada in Christmas green. Love that green. 20 count Ada in blue cashmere. 32 count Lugana dots. This is just a small 6x9 piece. 32 count Belfast dirty linen. I'm thinking about doing that Stacy Nash Primitives piece on this. This is Hunter Green 28 count Jubilee. I got 2 pieces of it actually, but they look like they're different dye lots. But I accidentally bought 2 pieces because I bought one day and then I went back the next day and grabbed another one and I didn't know I'd already bought it. I forgot. 20 count Lugana. That's one of the things I like about his shop. He carries a lot of 20 count. 20 count Lugana in Ruby Wine. Beautiful color. 20 count Lugana in Charcoal Gray. 20 count Lugana in Victorian Christmas Green. And that's fits, definitely. And then finally, 25 count Lugana in Victorian Red. And all of these pieces are pretty big. This one's 13 by 18. So that's a very nice size for a good price. So that is almost everything. Here's one more thing. I got some thread conditioner, floss conditioner from the Silver Needle beeswax. So I think that's everything I got. Hopefully that didn't bore you too much. I don't buy a lot, but when I get it all when I can get it all at one time, I'm gonna take advantage of it. So that was my Needlework Galleria experience. Before I wrap this up, I just wanted to say thank you once again to all of you that have been to my Etsy shop to purchase and check out my project bags. Thank you so much. Just letting you know, the last of probably my fall bags will be going up over the next couple of weeks, and then it will be mostly Christmas and just random designs. But as far as holidays, Christmas will be it probably the rest of the year. And then maybe in December, I'll start putting out some winter and Valentine bags. But I cannot thank you enough for your support. I'm very happy you all like my bags. I do tend to do the bigger bags, and I'm thinking about playing around with some new sizes, but I do the vinyl front and the full bag, fabric bag. And you kind of can see some of them in my videos from time to time, but I really like making them. I think bag making, I enjoy making bags anyway. Zippers don't intimidate me, so I really enjoy making the bags, and now I'm just kind of playing around with different styles. My cultural bags, my African print bags, those I can't seem to keep those in there, so I'm glad you all appreciate those and like those, and I will do my best to keep that diversity coming. So just check it out. And if most of the time I put bags up towards the end of the weekend because I've been working on them over the weekend, so your best bet to grab something is probably in the middle of the week if you're looking for something in particular or you're looking to see what's new, because usually by the weekend new stuff tends to get snatched up. So I hope you enjoy what you see and continue, and if you have any input or any suggestions, I will be open to that as well. A couple of shout outs I wanted to do, and I had some Stitchy Kindness, and I asked her if it would be okay, but I did not hear back from her yet because I just got these in the mail today. But I'm just going to mention her first name, Monica in Utah. Thank you, my sister. She saw that I was looking for a couple of Prairie Schoolers, and she had them, and she reached out to me with a very nice email and asked if I wanted them. And I was like, yes, ma'am. So here are Prairie Schooler Santa 2005 and 2006. So now I call them my stitchery ones. I think the only one I'm missing now is the knitting one, but I love these. So I have both of these now, and if I get her permission, I want to put, I asked her to send me what hers look like because she was finished with these charts. And on this one, instead of putting Xmas there, she put the year, and I thought that was brilliant. So when I do this one, I'm going to try to remember to put the year in place of Christmas right there on the Singer sewing machine. So thank you so much, Monica. I really appreciate it. Such a nice message, and I'm glad you are enjoying my channel. So thank you so much. I'm gonna and definitely keep you updated when I get those started. Stacy Maris, she sent me a nice email. She said she and her sister are from St. Louis and they watch my channel, and I just wanted to say hi, Stacy, and thank you so much for your nice email, and hopefully you'll keep coming back. And if you're ever in the St. Louis area, let me know. Okay. She mentioned a lot of places that she grew up around, the high school she went to, and I was very familiar with all of them. Matter of fact, I had recently been at her high school watching my daughter play volleyball. So, and the last one person I want to shout out is Shani, and please correct me if I did not say her name right, but Shani from Alabama. She was the winner of the project bag that I gave away in my last video, and she just had a really nice email, and I just wanted to let her know that I appreciate what she said, and I'm going to keep going and keep pushing, and thank you so much for the kind words and the encouragement more than anything. So I have not had a couple of people respond on giveaway wins. 2 people's went out, but 2 were unclaimed, so I'm gonna leave those live until my next video, and if they aren't claimed by my next video, then I will put them back in the pot for a future video. I think that's it. I'll just talk very, very briefly about plans. My plan for the month of October is to do Layla's homecoming dress, number 1. But number 2, I want to kit up a memorabilia. I have not had a birthday start in the past, but this is my 50th birthday coming up in November. So I think I want to do a birthday start, and I want it to be a memorabilia, something big. So I am working on Rose of Sharon, and I showed the chart in my last video. I'll stick a picture of it up here. But I think that's the one I want to do because I can do it on any count because it does not have any beads. But my plan is to do a color conversion. The color of the dress currently is yellow and blue, and I want to change it to pink and green and then do a skin tone conversion. So I'm going to put a picture here of the flosses that I am considering. And if the picture I'm going to show you, it has green in the middle. I really love those greens. I think I'm probably going to stick with those greens. But then there are 2 different, slightly different colorways of pinks on either sides of the green. So I'm trying to decide which way I'm going to go. I have to pick 5 floss colors of pink, and I think 4 floss colors of green. And then of course I have to figure out what fabric I want to do it on. I would really like to do it on a 32 count because I can. The other one I have is Sabrina, and she has beads, so I'm gonna have to do her on a 28 count. So hopefully I can get that kitted up or figure out what I want to do it on over the next month or so. Would love to dye my own fabric to do it on, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. And I've got a couple of dyers that I'm looking at their fabrics for something to put it on. So we shall see. But that's one of my big goals. Second, I want to start more fall stitching. I really don't have anything but Annie's Market, so I'm going to start more fall stitching. Continue with my Christmas stitching because it'll be here before you know it, you all. And I'm just looking at my notes. Fully finished some stuff. I'm just not very good at that. Oh, well, let me rephrase that. I'm not very motivated to do that. I sew, I got glue, I got all kind of stuff. I can do it. I'm just not motivated right now to fully finish, and I really want to. I think I'll be more motivated once I have space. You should see. It's just fabric everywhere because I'm always doing project bags, and then I don't want to fold them all up and get them all creased up. So yeah, they're everywhere. So I think once I get a sewing room and a sewing space, I'll do more FFOing. But I'm gonna do some. I've got some things I've got the embellishments and everything. I just got to get it done. So I think that is all I have for you all today. I think this is a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but I'm so glad that you came to spend some time with me today. Look for me in a few weeks, and I know I will be back on track with Vintage Baker, so I will have a lot more to show you with that. And hopefully I've got those couple of starts that I wanted to do, and I will have finished my conversion. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I look forward to chatting with you all again very soon. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for your comments. Keep them coming. And if you have any questions, let me know. I hope to see you soon. Take care and be blessed. I'm going to attempt to narrate this next part. These first two pictures are my dad in his Santa suit. The first one is a little girl, and that is kind of the traditional Santa suit that he's wearing. But this next one with this little girl, and like I said, I don't know who these little girls were. I don't even know where he was being Santa. But this second outfit that he has on, I love it so much. It's almost like an old world Santa outfit. And then moving into the next picture, I thought I'd give you a few of my Santa pictures when I was a kid. This is me at age 1, so probably circa 1974. The next one is me and my sisters. I have twin sisters, and they were 1 in this picture, so this has got to be around 1977. And then the next one, I'm not positive, but I look about 1st or 2nd grade, so that would be 80, 81, somewhere in there. And finally, this is me and my sisters. I'm pretty sure I am a senior in high school in this picture, simply because I have a sweater on that my mom made for me, and I took my senior pictures in that sweater. So I'm guessing that's probably my senior year in high school, which would be 1990 was Christmas my senior year, and my sisters were probably in 8th grade. But those are just some of my Santa pictures, and thank you to the person who requested to see my dad. Be blessed, you all.